Everyone is talking about the jobs AI might eliminate, but not many people are talking about the roles that actually become more valuable because of AI. So in today's video, I'm breaking down 5 job titles you should be searching on LinkedIn if you want to stay irreplaceable in 2026 and beyond. When I think about whether our role holds up in AI first world, I think of 4 things. Number 1, does it involve system level thinking? 2, real domain expertise. 3, working closely with people. And lastly, making big decisions when things aren't as clear. If a role has 2 or more of these things, AI doesn't replace it. It helps you do your job better. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Role number 1, without a doubt, is machine learning and AI engineers. These are the people that are actually building AI. Think of these roles as running a lab experiment. For example, imagine an AI engineer working on a recommendation system at Airbnb. The model is ready to ship, but before it goes live, the engineer has to design how it runs in production, setting latency limits so search feels instant, adding constraints so new hosts aren't buried, and deciding how frequently the model retains so the recommendation don't drift or reinforce bias. Those choices aren't about finding bugs. They are about anticipating how system will behave at scale and making intentional trade-offs before users ever see the model. So yes, AI can generate predictions, but a human design how those predictions operate in the real world and take responsibility for the impact. And that's what makes this role irreplaceable in the age of AI. If you're looking to become an AI engineer, I actually shared a detailed roadmap, so watch this video if you want to learn how to become an AI engineer. An entry-level salary for an AI and machine learning engineer can range from 100K to 130K, and obviously the salary goes higher as you specialize in certain areas. Moving on to role number 2, software architects. Think of this role like planning a city. Let's say AI can help design individual pieces, but only an architect understands how everything connects and how the system actually works at scale. For example, imagine a software architect at Uber deciding how pricing, ETA, and driver availability services should interact. So in this case, let's say if they're using AI can suggest patterns, but the architect decides services boundaries, data ownership, and how teams can scale independently without breaking consistency. And we can actually see this in real world examples. Remember when AI web services had a huge outage, like a sub 1, there was no AI that was able to resolve it. Humans had to go through the system dependencies and make the calls that brought the system back online and resolve that sub 1. Architecture is often long-term and cross-functional. So AI can suggest options, humans decide the structure, and they own the outcomes. A typical entry-level salary for a software architect is somewhere from 100K to 125K. Now, this obviously varies by region and the company that you end up working at. Role number 3 is product managers. Product managers are here to stay, and they actually become even more valuable with the rise of AI. Let me tell you why. Think of this role like you're coordinating teams that are often moving in all directions. Yes, you can use AI here to gather information, but only a product manager decides what actually moves forward and why. They define the roadmap, they create the vision. Let me share an actual example. Imagine a product manager at Amazon leading roadmap for next generation mobile device. And yes, Amazon has had failed mobile phones in the past, so the PM has some data to leverage and learn from the past mistakes. AI here could probably help gather past data from previous phone launch and understand what actually happened. But in order to move forward, the PM has to define the vision, prioritize features, and make trade-offs between performance timelines and budgets. Product managers are often working with ambiguous problems. They're often working cross-functional as well. They have to align engineering, design, business teams, and break down messy problems into goals and milestones for every team that is working on that project to follow. AI here can suggest options, but it can't understand user nuances, negotiate trade-offs, or lead teams through uncertainty. You need a product manager to do that. And just to be clear, AI doesn't decide the roadmap. Humans do. Average entry-level salary for a typical product manager is somewhere from $92,000 to $172,000. Now, I do want to say that there is a new era of product managers, which are AI product managers. For AI product managers, the entry-level compensation could range from 180K to up to multiple 6 figures. So what exactly does an AI product manager do? You're still a product manager at the core, but your focus shifts to building AI-powered products. That means dealing with uncertainty, defining guardrails, and evaluating systems that don't behave deterministically. If you're looking to develop that kind of product thinking, this is a good place to mention the AI Product Management Certification taught by product leader at OpenAI, who is also sponsoring this portion of the video. What stands out about this certification is how practical it is. It focuses on real decision making, identifying AI opportunities, writing AI-ready PRDs, and evaluating features before they ship. You can learn by doing using their 4D methods: discovery, design, develop, and deploy. This is the same framework used behind AI products at Shopify, Google, and Amazon. Over 300,000 industry professionals have already taken this certification with over 750 reviews, highest on the platform, so it has the proven track record. The next cohort goes live on January 26th. The first 20 people can use the code Sundas for $500 off. I will link it in the description below. If you are a PM, engineer, designer, or data scientist working on AI-powered products, this is a solid way to build a real product intuition instead of just learning prompts. The role number 4 is data scientist. Think of this role like diagnostic a patient with symptoms. So in this case, AI can surface symptoms quickly, but the hard part is figuring out which ones actually matter. And that's where the data scientist comes in. And yes, I'm calling out this role not just because I have worked as a data scientist, but because I have seen firsthand how much judgment it takes to do this work, especially when the data looks positive, but something still feels off. For example, imagine a data scientist at Google running an experiment that improves a core metric, while power users start saying search relevance feels worse. On the surface, the dashboard looks great, but now someone has to step in and ask the uncomfortable question. Is this metric telling the truth, or are we optimizing the wrong thing? That's where experience and domain knowledge matters. The data scientist has to dig into the experiment, understand user behavior and system interaction to understand whether this is a measurement issue, a real experience regression, or early warning sign of a bigger problem. And whatever conclusion they reach doesn't stay theoretical. Teams will act on it. AI can make analysis faster, but humans decide what the data actually means and what to do next. They use their critical analytical thinking that won't be replaced by AI. A typical entry-level salary for a data scientist ranges from $105,000 to $135,000. Now again, this varies based on the company that you're at and the location that you're gonna be working at. If you're trying to become a data scientist, I shared a full roadmap video. You can watch it here. Moving on to role number 5, which is cybersecurity analyst and ethical hackers. Think of this role like an airport security. Now, this is going to be a very niche example, so stick with me. Yes, they can use AI to scan things very quickly, but the real work starts when something looks sus and someone has to decide whether it's actually dangerous. For example, imagine a cybersecurity analyst at Cloudflare seeing a sudden surge in traffic. On paper, it looks like potential DDoS incident. AI can flag the anomaly instantly, but a human has to step in and figure out what's really happening. Is this an attack, a vital spike, an abuse pattern, or configuration issue? Each explanation leads to a completely different response that the team would have to take. And this is where AI has a real limitation. Most models learn from historical patterns, but security threats constantly evolve. Not just hacking techniques, but new abuse behaviors, misconfiguration, and system interactions that haven't existed before. That is the difference between noise and real risk. The analyst has to reason about the intent, system impact, and downstream consequences, working across engineering and infrastructure to decide how aggressively to respond. Yes, AI raises the alert, but human decides the action and owns the outcome. A typical salary for a cybersecurity analyst ranges from $95,000 to $120,000. In addition to these 5 roles, the same pattern shows up in a lot more places. For example, data engineers, staff level principal engineers, engineering managers, TPMs, and even CEO and founders. Before we wrap up, I want to call out that not all irreplaceable roles sit just within tech. There are entire professions where AI can assist, but it can't step in for the human doing the job, especially where real-time judgment and hands-on problem solving matters. Some examples include healthcare professionals, skills trade like electricians, plumbers, and HVAC technicians. Yes, AI can support these roles, but humans still make the decisions that matter in that moment. All right, these were the 5 roles. Let me know what you think about these 5 roles. Are there any other roles that you think won't be replaced by AI, but rather be amplified with AI? And with that, I hope you're having a beautiful day. I will see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.